And now it's time for Ask Roz and Mocha.
Back at it again with the questions. Hello, Edward. You are first up on the Ask Roz and Mocha podcast. How are you today, by the way?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for joining us today. What is your question for the room?
All right. So I was just wondering who was responsible for the biggest troll job thus far. So the one example that comes to mind would be actually when Mocha told Maury how big a wrestling fan Rachel McAdams was prior to his interview with her.
Yeah. Mocha's used that one a couple of times on Maury, and he fell for it both times. But you're right. That was one of the biggest troll jobs that we've ever had on the show. So damn it, Maury was. When was this, Maury? Do you remember?
It would have been like 5 years ago now.
No, way longer than that, dude.
I would say way longer than that, man.
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait for Maury to do the math here. Sorry, wait for Maury's computer to do the math for him.
Not me.
Yeah.
2016.
So 6 years ago.
Yeah, 6 years ago.
So off by a year.
Okay. So Maury was he had to go and interview Rachel McAdams, and we would always have meetings, just like quick, like at the end of the show kind of thing. Hey, I'm talking to Rachel McAdams. Anything you guys want to touch on? And Mocha immediately went, oh my God, she's like huge wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And Maury was like, really? And Mocha was like, yeah. And then so Mocha gave...
And I said that she's famously been sitting ringside.
Yes.
Like when you watch pay-per-views and stuff.
Yes. That she's like she's been deep into it since she was a kid. And then Maury's like, okay, cool. And it wasn't just that, but like Mocha sent Maury with like some really specific deep dive wrestling questions for Rachel McAdams.
Like which game she was at.
Game. Okay. Do we have that?
Yeah, of course we do.
Okay.
Now, who knew that you were such a wrestling fan? You love wrestling. Now, do you like old school wrestling or new school wrestling?
Me? Wrestling?
Yeah. Mocha, our host, has seen you like courtside at wrestling matches and stuff like that. Have you gone to matches at all, or is he mistaken?
It was me.
You know what's funny? It was like a week or 2 weeks later. Maury was going to interview Kyle Lowry when Kyle used to play for the Raptors. And the same thing, hey, what kind of intel can you give? And I said to Maury, guess what? Kyle Lowry, huge wrestling fan. Fun fact, Kyle Lowry has like a massive collection of wrestling dolls that he keeps like in a glass cage. Ask him, because he's got two young kids at home, if he would ever let them play with the wrestling dolls at any point, right?
So I understand, Kyle, that you're a huge fan of old school wrestling, and you have a collection of the dolls. Will your kids get a chance to play with your collection at all?
I don't have a collection of old school wrestling dolls.
And the problem is, right, like when you're in it, when you're in those moments, because believe me, right, like believe me, I've been in moments where a producer has just like things get complicated and convoluted and everything else, and I've been in moments where you ask somebody something that is completely wrong, doesn't exist, is a huge mistake. And the one thing you can't do in those moments is you can't blame it on somebody else, right? Like it's just bad. It's poor form. Like you have to own it, right? And so that's the hard part, is like listening to Maury's soul leave his body because he can't say, oh my God, I was fooled. This is a joke. Like you can't do that.
Can I take you
in
into the room
interview.
for a sec? So when Rachel McAdams, when I did that, so in these rooms, there's like people, like publicists and stuff.
Yes.
So when that happened, oh dear God, the feeling of everyone staring at me and looking at their phones and going, what is he asking?
Yeah, I would say that's probably the greatest troll job that has ever happened on the show.
I would say.
Yeah.
I would say. I don't know if it, because it was like great, because huge stars too, right? Like it's not like you trolled with, you know, a lesser star. Like we're talking, you know, Rachel McAdams and Kyle Lowry, like both of those, like that's humiliation on like pro level. Right?
Even hearing that back now, I'm like, oh dear God.
Right. Yeah, PTSD. Those were some real great trolls. You're right. You're right. They may be the best.
Hey,
they may
Edward,
be the best.
thank you for listening. Thank you for your question. It was awesome talking to you, man.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Before we let you go, between Roz and Mocha, who's your favorite?
You know, I've been back and forth on this. I would say, as of late, since listening to the podcast a lot more often, I'm going to go with Roz.
Oh, interesting.
Fun fact, Roz, huge wrestling fan. He's got a collection of action figures and dolls at home and a glass case.
Stop it. Stop it.
Thanks, Edward.
All right. Thanks.
Later,
Have a
dude.
good one, guys.
Right on, bro.
Okay, Richard has a question that I know that Dammit Maury is going to jump at answering first, okay?
Okay, yeah.
What is something you would do in a hotel room but never at home? Okay, go for it.
Well, I mean, my mind goes dirty.
Yo, Maury's so nervous right now. He can't even speak.
I know, but like, what haven't you, I'm trying to figure out, like, even if your mind does go that way more, I'm trying to figure out, like, are you talking alone in a hotel room, right?
But I mean, it's stuff that I do at home as well, except.
But you would how would it be different in a hotel?
Because you just.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, thank God we bleeped that.
You
Okay.
are so disgusting,
You're
dude.
so disgusting. You're so disgusting.
Look at you.
I knew as soon as you asked that question, I'm like, we're gonna have to bleep this within 30 seconds.
Wow.
Now
you travel.
Okay, okay. An honest answer, I'll say eat in bed.
I believe that the previous one was an honest answer. I really do.
Stop trying to deflect.
Yeah, I really do. I really do.
I believe that even at home in the condo that you still eat in bed.
Oh, you're not allowed to do that.
Oh,
It's
no?
explicit rules.
Oh.
But what happens if Matthew's not home, or will he know?
Oh no, I'm not going to mess that up because if there's a crumb, like no.
Just lay a towel down. Isn't that you're used to, right?
No, I can't believe.
Haven't you seen those videos? There's like those TikTok videos where it's like a woman and it's like super seductive music, and they're like, we like to lay a towel down so we don't make a mess, and she lays a towel down on the bed, and then the camera cuts. And it's like her and a dude in bed, like eating nachos.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Has Matthew never said like, "Hey, let's watch TV"? Because you guys have a TV in the bedroom now.
No,
right?
no, it's still in the box.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, no, I've had the TV for a year now. It's still in the box.
Why?
Because like Matthew hasn't found the right person to hang it.
What are you talking about?
What?
Like he's doing stupid research on companies to hang the TV properly so that it doesn't like make a mess or fall off the wall or the hole for the wires is wrong. Like he's
Why
like,
don't you just call Best Buy? Geek Squad will do it for you.
or his brother will do it for free.
Yeah.
So the TV's still in the box. So I told him, I'm like, for my birthday, the TV that I bought, can you please hang it on the wall?
Yeah.
And what'd he say?
He was, I don't know if I'll have time for your birthday.
I would hate to go in a hotel room after Dammit Maury was in there.
I know.
Just like food and dishes and towels.
It's like a rock star was there.
I don't think so, man.
Ugh.
I don't think so.
Ugh.
I don't have an answer for this. What is something you would do in a hotel room but never at home? I don't know. Like maybe not make the bed.
Yeah.
Right? And you've traveled so much for ET Canada.
Oh my God.
Right? You've stayed in
yeah.
countless hotel rooms. Would you have an answer?
Hundreds of hotel rooms. God, I think that in hotels, there's a weird rule, and it was sort of a rule that came in when people started conserving water. When you started to go to California in the hot months, and they would leave these little notes saying that, if you want your towels washed and changed, throw them in the bathtub, and then that way we know.
Yes.
But if you don't, we're not going to take them. Like if it's sort of on the counter and stuff like that, we're just going to refold it. Like if you want fresh towels, throw them in the bathtub. And I always feel weird throwing towels into the bathtub. Like I think that that's rude.
Yeah.
And so I always have this thing of where I'm like, oh God, I feel like really awful doing this because to me it seems like I'm being dirty.
Sure.
Right? I'm throwing them in the tub. Like there has to be a way that is a little bit more friendly than just hurling them all in the bathtub. But so I would never do that,
What
right?
about like a hamper? They should put a hamper in
Yeah,
there.
you're right. Yeah,
Right?
you're right. Yeah.
No, but because like they clean the bathtub too. If you put it in the hamper, then the hamper's dirty.
Yeah. Also in hotels, the thing that I never do that I do at home is I never sleep under the bedspread.
Huh?
Right?
What do you mean?
So
What do you sleep under? You
I
Don't
take
have a
I take
blanket?
that no, because oftentimes it'll be like a sheet, some sort of duvet, and then a blanket that goes over top of that.
Yeah.
That blanket that goes over top of that, throw it on the floor
They never clean it.
because they don't clean those.
Oh.
Right? They clean everything under those.
Oh no.
Right? But
Yeah.
they rarely
no.
clean those.
No,
Oh,
at
I
home,
use
you
everything.
sleep at home,
You
Roz.
do,
You sleep
huh?
naked at a hotel. Do you not?
No, I do. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you'll put your naked body on the hotel sheets.
Yes, of course.
Oh, you see, I'm always
Yeah, yeah,
worried
yeah,
that
yeah,
like
yeah.
there might like they. What if they actually don't clean them?
Oh, the other thing that I'll do in a hotel is I'll have like 3 different kinds of beer and 2 different kinds of wine all in the same night because of the mini bar.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like they never
But it's
give
so
you
easy, though.
They never give you all of one kind.
Uh-huh.
Right? It's always like they'll give you one Sam Adams and one Corona and one Heineken and
Like
then
a Pabst Blue.
yeah, right? Like they give you one of everything.
Yeah,
right?
variety though.
Yeah,
Right?
but
They want to
there was-
give you options.
There was one hotel where they profiled you, though, that I used to go to. I think it was the Mandarin. Is a really racist name. It was the Mandarin Oriental.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
isn't that
used-
weird?
They used to have
that
that
weird?
hotel
Yeah.
in Vegas, right in the same complex where like Aria, Vidara, Cosmo is.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to something else like the last time that I went.
So Mandarin Oriental is like a huge brand, and it's
Yeah.
it's a viciously high end hotel,
Uh-huh.
and they profile you. So you know how some hotels now, when you go in and you open the mini bar, there's sensors under everything.
Oh, yeah.
right. So you don't even they don't even have to check. They know in the office what you removed because the sensor goes off when you take out a bottle
You
of
have
beer.
like it's like 30 seconds or something
yes,
like that, right?
And then otherwise you get charged for
Uh-huh.
it, right? So I had been going to this hotel for so many weekends in a row and like a couple times a month and then once 3 times in a month or whatever it was. And they profile you. And it's and at first you're like, that's creepy. Don't build a profile on me. So when you go up to the counter and you're checking in, your profile comes up and they're like, how was your trip from Toronto, Mr. Weston? All this stuff. They know because it's all on the screen, but they profile you also what you like, if you like a high floor or a low floor. And it got to the point where I would go in and I would check into my hotel room and I would open the mini bar and everything else in the little fridge was completely cleared out and they would load it with as many bottles of Corona as they could fit
Oh, wow.
because it was the only thing I ever drank.
How would you not love that? I would
Right?
love to be profiled.
Yeah. So because that was the only thing I never touched the vodkas and everything else, and I didn't do the wines. So they would unload your fridge and load it up with everything that you liked.
I would appreciate that.
Yeah. It was kind of cool. It was kind of cool.
You walk into Maury's hotel room on the bed, it's just
Also, I watched a TikTok once that if you fill up a shampoo bottle with water and put it in the mini bar or whatever, like you can take stuff and then put the weight back down in the mini bar and they won't notice.
But you have to be
doing
so
that, though?
specific with the
That's-
weight, though.
That's like Indiana Jones stuff, man.
Like you have 30 seconds, switch it.
No, thank you.
Rayman46 asks, this is a question for Dammit Maury. Does Dammit Maury's dad make concoction for his 2 sons? Or his, I
No.
guess his other 2 kids?
No, because
Daniel and
now
Kyle.
that there's my new mom, Donna, or whatever, she does a lot of the cooking. and
My
not your new
mom,
mom.
Donna, or whatever.
She's been in your life for 25 years.
Yeah.
Okay? Happily married to your father. Please stop calling her your new mom.
Especially because you don't even know the old one.
I know, I really don't.
Facts. Yeah. Donna is your real mom.
Donna's your mom.
I know, it's weird. Even after 25 years, like I find it weird to say mom because she didn't birth me.
Right. Do you
No.
call her mom?
I call her Donna.
Donna, you do.
I think
huh?
that's fine.
But
though.
that's because I call Frank
That's
Frank.
fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's
But
fine.
stop calling her new mom.
Yeah.
Stop saying my new mom.
Yeah. So concoction is what, Maury?
So concoction is what my dad would make if he had to go to a party or wasn't going to be home the next day. He would make it, put it in the fridge. It was like rigatoni, ground beef, breadcrumbs, corn, chickpeas, like all kinds of crap in one dish in a Tupperware.
Yeah.
That you would, the breadcrumbs, I don't know why, but I think it was to like hold everything together.
Sure.
And so I would heat that up in the microwave and that was my dinner. And it would
Right.
last like 2 days or whatever.
So does Frank make concoction for Daniel and Kyle?
No, they eat quite well. He barbecues for them all the time.
Oh, yeah?
Like, in fact, Daniel is very specific on what he wants. He doesn't eat vegetables and stuff, so they'll make
No veggies?
food, no
Isn't
veggies.
he trying to be an athlete? He's like a hockey star,
He
right?
will not touch vegetables. And so everyone gets like what they want. So he'll make hot dogs for Daniel. He'll make pizza pockets for Kyle. Like everyone gets a specific
Hold on a
menu.
second.
In
Hold on a second.
microwave
Yeah, hold on a
pizza
second. Yeah.
Boil hot dogs.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so dinner
Like
dinner
you
for
can't,
the
you can't say
Yeah,
you
dinner-
can't say, listen, man, my dad, he will make like everybody what they want. If you want hot dogs, he'll do hot dogs. You want pizza pockets, he'll make you pizza pockets.
So dinner for the other kids,
Get the hell out of here.
made, done, served in under 5 minutes. Okay?
I would ask for concoction at that point.
Have Daniel and Kyle ever asked your dad to make concoction because they've heard about it so much?
They haven't heard about it. So, like, my dad and I had a whole separate life before Daniel and Kyle.
How
They
do
don't know.
Do they not listen to the show?
No.
And you've never brought up concoction.
I've never
at
brought
home?
it. I should. I've never brought it up. But they don't know half the stuff my dad and I lived through and experienced.
And so does Donna cook at all or no?
Donna does a lot of the cooking.
Yeah, she
My
does,
dad
right?
will do the barbecue. My dad does the meat, and she does sort of like everything else.
Right. It's so super. I never understood that about guys and barbecuing. Like my old man couldn't cook anything, right? He had no interest in cooking unless it was like on the barbecue. And then all of a sudden he's a chef. He still had no idea what the hell he was doing. Putting burgers on there and squishing them down as hard as he could.
I know,
with the
squeezing out the
spatula, right?
juice?
Yeah, like he
Not
had
supposed
no
to do
idea
that.
what he was doing. But but my mom and that generation of women, right? Like my mom was terrified of the barbecue, right? She thought she was going to blow everybody up and kill the family. So my dad got to go out and do that. But it was just like that sort of thing that everybody just accepted, that dads would work the grill when every other day of the year, they never even went into the kitchen.
Right.
Right? And everybody's like, oh my God, it's a great barbecue. I'm like, no, it was kind of crap. It was dry and overcooked.
The
and
edges were
gray.
burned.
The edges were burned on one side and one side. Like what the hell? I don't know how we got to that. Like, I don't know who didn't sit mums down when I was younger and go, listen, don't be afraid of the barbecue. Okay? You this is you. This is not him. He will ruin, everything you buy. And that's what my dad did my whole life. He ruined everything on the barbecue.
My dad, when he makes hamburgers, like he's very specific. He puts little bits of cheese and garlic and onion. Like he sort of buries it into the meat. And
That's gross.
And then like he'll stand in
He
front
turns
of
a
the
burger
barbecue.
into concoction.
Yeah, exactly.
And he'll stand in front of the barbecue and like form it with his hands. And he's always like, you have to like slap the meat.
What does he
times
know?
on
What
each
does he
side.
know? What does he know? He doesn't cook.
But he has like rules.
Of course
for,
he does,
for these
because
things.
dads have this weird, stupid thing with barbecuing that I don't understand.
Justin Chu asks, you have your own late night talk show.
Yeah.
Who do you invite as your first guest?
I had my own late night talk show.
Oh,
Did
yeah,
you?
on
Yeah,
Toronto One, right?
Yeah, I hosted a late night show live. It was live at 11 o'clock.
Oh, wait a minute. Yes.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was called Last Call.
Yes, you and another person.
Yeah,
You know what?
right?
You
Yeah.
want to know something crazy?
Yeah,
When you hosted that show,
yeah.
you won't remember this, but I was there.
Were you?
Yes. It was at a bar and you had to go like down the stairs.
Yeah.
And as soon as you go down the stairs, the bar area where you guys shot
Yeah.
the episode was like on the left.
Yeah.
I was there for the very first episode because we were both
Seriously?
working at this
Really?
radio station at the exact same time, but never really conversed. But I knew the other person
Right.
who you were working with
Yeah.
because I produced for her show for a while.
Yeah.
And I was there. I was sitting there. I remember.
This is two times that you've met Mocha and you don't
crazy.
remember either.
First of all, I was way too drunk doing that show every night to remember much. I wrote. You should read the book. Like the stuff I wrote about that show is
Yeah?
wild.
Really?
Wild, man. Yeah, it's wild.
I
Yeah.
can't wait. By the way, RozWeston.com to pre-order A Little Bit
Yeah.
Broken out on September 27th. So,
Yeah. So who did? I'm trying to think of who we had on that. We interviewed Roseanne Barr on that show. But like, if I was doing a show now, like a late night show,
Yeah.
I think that you, regardless of being a fan, I think that late night shows, you have to go to the well of the people who are just really great on late night shows as being a late night show guest. Right? You know what I mean? Like, there are people
Yeah.
who are experts at being a late night show guest. So I would say in that kind of world, who is an expert at being a late show guest, I mean, you can't not say Dave Chappelle, right? You can't not say
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart,
Yeah.
right?
Kevin Hart's on my list.
Kevin Hart is like Kevin Hart's the best guest that you could ever have on a talk
Will
show.
Ferrell as well.
Oh, yes.
No, not for me.
For me, my list is Will Ferrell,
Yeah,
Kevin Hart,
yeah.
The Rock, and also Mark Wahlberg. Those four are my.
See, Kevin Hart, Mark Wahlberg, and them are great. Will Ferrell is not
No.
a great guest.
He's not. He's a terrible guest.
Yeah.
Who? Mark Wahlberg?
No, Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell is a
really?
terrible
Yeah,
guest.
he's a terrible guest, and he's also a terrible interview.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the worst.
Oh, I would pick him.
The
Just because I'm a
worst.
fan of his.
I think Ryan Reynolds would be fun.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds. Yes, he's
He'd
good.
be
Yeah,
fun.
he's a good guest too. You're right. He's a really great late night guest. Who else, Maury? Who else is a really great late
What
night
about Matt
guest?
Damon?
No.
The stuff that I've
Kimmel.
seen.
With Kimmel.
With Kimmel.
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah.
But
That's
they have
Africa
they got a
Boy.
great relationship, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's super. Justin Timberlake's a really good late night guest.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, Rebel Wilson. 'Cause
I haven't
she's
seen enough
funny.
of her to be a good to whether because what you want, right, is you want like back in the day, it was really interesting because all of those late night shows were everything was predetermined ahead of time, right? Pre-interviews. And so you would get booked on a show, and then the producers, whether it was Letterman or Leno or even Conan at the time, you would get a call from the producer ahead of time, and they would do these pre-interviews with you, and they would say, okay, so we got a new movie coming out, and then they were like, okay, so have you been anywhere lately? Have you been traveling? And they were like, yeah, I went to, I was in, Bahamas with my family. Okay, so what happened in the Bahamas then? And they were like, oh my God, you know what? Like I got stung by a jellyfish. And then so these producers would work out all of these stories. And when you went on to these shows, Leno, Letterman, everything else, they were scripted, right? So the entire thing scripted. That's why you would always, Letterman or Leno would go, so you been anywhere interesting lately? Right? And then they go, actually, I was just in the Bahamas. Funny story. I got
Right.
All they would do is tee them up. But back in the day, okay, there were three late night talk show guests that never had to do a pre-interview because it was guaranteed gold. Okay. And back in the day, those three late night guests, one was Howard Stern, right? Robin Williams.
Oh, great.
Right?
Yeah.
Nobody ever pre-interviewed Robin Williams because it did not
Well,
matter.
because he was just
right?
a comedic genius.
You bring
right?
him on and then he would just go. Like that was the thing. And I think the third at that time, I'm trying to think like back late 80s,
Billy
early
Crystal.
90s. Billy Crystal, but he wasn't one of the big three. It'll come to me later. But everything else was so scripted on those shows. Like it was like everything that they said was predetermined that they were going to say.
I would add now Daniel Radcliffe because he's very funny.
Yeah.
I would add Daniel Radcliffe.
You know who's really good? Jamie Foxx is hilarious.
Jamie Foxx is a great guest.
Oh, yeah. Jamie
Great
Foxx
guest.
is wonderful.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx. No, I'm trying to
Seth
think of who it
Rogen
was.
is
What about
good.
Jennifer Lawrence?
No.
He's only Jennifer Lawrence?
Yeah, I
Not
mean,
in interviews, though.
because Jennifer Lawrence has a shtick, though. That's the thing, right? Is that she's always like sort of awkward and a little bit bitter and dry, which I love that. But that again is so predetermined, right? Like it's so predetermined. Where Kevin Hart, I don't think that I've ever seen a better prepared talk show guest than Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart comes with like 3 minutes of original material that is like out of the park home run material as a late night talk show
Oh, it's the
guest.
third year thing of Joan Rivers?
No.
Oh.
No. I think it was a woman though.
I remember, I think it was 5 years ago, Jenna and I went to New York and we went to Fallon.
Yeah.
And R.I.P. Don Rickles. Was it Don Rickles? I think it was Don Rickles was like a guest. And they had, I think Fallon had like two other guests that were booked.
Yeah.
And Rickles was so funny. They
Right.
just let him go.
Yeah.
And he was there the entire show. Like he did, and maybe the other planned guests weren't really there, but
Yes.
they just said that because they knew Rickles was going to go long, and all the other things that they had planned, like games and whatever,
Yeah.
they canceled because it was all Rickles, and he just had the entire place in stitches. He was going on and on and on, and at one point, one of the producers was like trying to wrap him to be
Yeah.
like, we have to cut to commercials, and he like shushed her and said, I see you back there, give me the hand that we have to wrap, you can leave me alone.
Yeah.
And then the entire place erupted,
Yeah.
and he just kept going on with his jokes, and it was like one of the funniest things I'd ever seen.
No, you're right. Don Rickles was on that list. I think George Carlin was the other guy. Was
Well,
the
what
other
about
guest,
Marty Short?
Actually,
No, I think Martin Short has fantastic and he's great, but I think he has a limited amount of material, but hilarious material for that segment.
Yeah, that's crazy. Those late night talk shows are wild, and they tape them in the afternoon too, right?
I know, weird.
Like, yeah, it's
so
really,
weird.
I know, it's super weird.
Hi, Chris. It's Roz Mocha. How are you?
Hey, man. What's up? How's it going?
You all right?
You all right?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, was that on purpose?
It's my way of breaking the ice with you guys.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
Puberty.
that was on
Puberty.
purpose. That was not you going through puberty.
No.
Do you do that all the time with people that you are just meeting for the first time?
That's your go-to?
I do it quite a bit to break the ice to make them feel comfortable.
Okay.
Why wouldn't we feel comfortable with you?
Well, no, I'm the one that's nervous, so I just wanted to break the ice for myself.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Okay. So you don't do that voice like at work and stuff, right?
Oh, of course I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
So what's your question, man?
So my question was, what is your thoughts on the potential of like using VR and incorporating into like our daily lives, in the sense of like maybe you want to get over a phobia, or maybe do game night with family, like an escape room, or meeting celebrities and that kind of stuff? Like, what are you guys' thoughts on it? Like, or even people with limited movement, and they can like actually enjoy the VR and like feel like what they can.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
I understand that, but like for me, I wouldn't want to do. I don't know. I'm not big on VR just yet, man. Like maybe VR video games. But like for regular life kind of stuff, that's not for me.
They have to work on it so that people who wear glasses can do it without feeling barfy.
Right.
That's my problem with the VR goggles.
Yeah, I sort of think it could be good for therapy reasons, right? Like,
Sure.
like you
Great
mentioned, when it comes to
I'll
getting over
mention that.
phobias and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think it's great for that. But yeah, meeting celebrities and all that stuff. Nah,
No, I'm not down with that.
I'm not with that.
Yeah.
Shema's onto something for therapy. That would be brilliant.
I'm not. God, your phone is terrible, dude. Where are you right now?
sorry.
Where are you?
Oh, I'm on. Here, how's that?
Oh, God. Why
hell,
did you do
man?
that at the beginning?
Oh my God! You guys are making fun of my car now. The Bluetooth is awful. I have a
Oh.
2010 car,
Bro.
Ron. You're with me. Come on.
Yeah. My 2010 does not have Bluetooth, bro.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
Maybe there's a good reason for that.
Yeah, I would say that I think that there are places where VR could be beneficial and helpful. But I think that the problem is, in order for VR to advance the technology, it has to be making somebody money in order to pour more money into it. Meta. Right?
Yeah.
And with that, what you get is that sort of metaverse, and you're going to have people, who are VR going to concerts, where you're going to stand there and you'll be in your living room singing along and waving your arms, and somebody will be on stage performing like that, because you can sell that, right? You can put advertising behind that. You can't sell, physical therapy or phobias or any sort of, for mental health reasons.
But you told me that they've already used it for adult entertainment and are making money on it.
So this is what I mean. But
why are you trying to spin it on him?
I know.
I'm not at all taking the heat for that one.
Right? Like,
Whatever, man.
please. But that's like most tech, though. The porno, advances a lot of tech out of the gate, and then everybody else sort of realizes, what the platform's going to be, which, very specific portions of this tech are going to be the ones who that sort of move forward. But will I ever go, hey, do you want to meet me in the metaverse? No.
Yeah. No.
I will never. It's just not
He wants to be left alone in the real world. You think he wants
I
to
feel
link
like
up
the
in the
metaverse would be easier, though.
What's that?
I feel like the metaverse would be easier.
You don't like anybody enough to go meet up in a metaverse?
But they're fake people. Roz could you say whatever he wants and F off.
No.
Fake?
Also,
man, it's going to be filled with other people who are also wearing the VR goggles, right?
Yeah. Also, do you think that here's what I'm always terrified. I'm terrified that I'm going to do something that is going to cause Catherine to never want to have sex with me ever again. Right?
Yeah.
And I think that if she ever walked in and I was sitting on my couch with like a headset on, cheersing somebody beside me who doesn't exist as we're having a drink at the bar, right? You know what I mean? She's never going. I'm getting a separate room at that point, right? Like there's just you've killed everything.
It's so weird.
You've killed all sexuality at that point.
To the other person.
Oh, right.
The music in here is great, huh?
Right? Yeah. No.
This is my favorite song.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, but what if she put on her goggles and you looked,
She would never do that because I would never have sex with her ever again if I ever walked in the room and she was at a bar in VR world, right?
Hey, what you doing here? Got off work early.
Yeah.
So
no,
dumb.
and also in VR world, I don't trust people enough to not mess with me.
Same,
I just don't. Like, I don't know who you are and where you are with your goggles on and what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Or
Like
who else is there monitoring?
Bro, like if we're at a bar, right? Like imagine this, okay? Like imagine, you get somebody like Dammit Maury, okay?
Yeah.
So you walk into a VR bar, bar VR, whatever you want to call it, right? And you sit there and you order a drink and Maury comes up beside you and you're both sitting at the bar and you're talking about whatever. I can see what Maury's avatar in our VR bar is doing. But I can't see what Maury in his condo alone is doing while he's in the bar with me.
Just naked with goggles on.
Right? Like that's what I don't trust people enough to not make it awful. Because if you give people the opportunity to make it awful, they will.
Yeah.
Do you think you can actually hear people talk in the metaverse, or is it like bubbles over your head and I have to read?
No, you can talk.
hear. You
It's
can
all
speak to people.
microphone.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 8-bit where like pauses in on these words
man.
over you.
No.
Like it's the rendering. Like it's going to get perfect. Like the tech on that stuff is going to get perfect. Now, what they use it for, who knows?
Just all bad things.
Yeah.
Just assume the worst.
Yeah, Maury, if they released a VR,
The answer will be yes. But go ahead.
if they released a VR like onesie that you would wear, and the onesie was like full of sensors everywhere, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, and you had the goggles, and it was like pristine. And when I say pristine, like it like Avatar level pristine of graphics. Okay. And your body, the sensors were everywhere on your body. Like if you stepped on a rock, it would hurt the bottom of your foot. Like that's how sensitive these sensors are. Okay. Would you buy that? And where would you hide that?
I would, and I would hide it here at work.
Oh, God. Oh, wait. So you would bring it home and use it and then bring it to work to hide it?
Like I would keep it in my work bag. Okay, maybe I'll keep it in the car.
In that car.
Wow.
Man, that's so gross.
Okay, how much would you be willing to pay for that? If the technology was incredible, and I mean like incredible.
I think I could go upwards of like 500.
$500? No way. A suit like that, you're talking thousands, man.
I can't do that, though.
What would Matthew say if he ever walked in and saw you wearing the suit?
He's like, let me try.
Like, no, you think he would?
Absolutely.
Wait a second. If he was like, Maury, what are you doing right now? And you were like, I don't know,
And you explain the tech.
I'm with, I don't know, name somebody, Lance Stryker. I don't know. Right?
That's a guy.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. How do you know that?
I don't know. Shot in the dark. Okay. So
that's also a guy.
Okay.
Yeah, enough.
So you think if Matthew walked in and you were in the VR suit with Lance Stryker,
he would be like, I got to see this.
He would
and
want.
The second he felt the sensors, he'd be like, you're not getting this back by your own.
So wait a second.
Wow.
So he would put that on after you had it on?
Well, yeah, why not?
Well, I don't know, man. This is a hygiene issue.
Hanging it in the closet instead of the car.
Exactly.
All right, yo, Chris, thanks so much.
Hey, man, no problem.
Have a good one. All right. Thank you for all of your questions, your comments. Every week we post on Instagram at Kiss925, Ask Roz Mocha. This is where we get the questions from. So keep them coming in. Thank you for listening. This has been the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
on Kiss 92.5
Kiss925.com.
or download the Kiss 92.5 app.